welcome. We've got a full house of cheering fans, including Earl B., the home team's biggest fan.
Earl B, he's our man. Earl B, local team's biggest fan.
It's Friday, September 14th, 2001. Good evening, everyone. Not only is this a day of prayer and mourning for the devastation that hit this country back on Tuesday, September 11th, but it's also high school football night here at George Daniel Stadium. I'm Ron Bacalar, along with my partner tonight, Harvey Herman, our cameraman, producer, and director, Joe Bach, and we're going to be bringing you the exciting play-by-play action of tonight's game, featuring the Lorain Southview Saints as they play host to the Tigers of Warren Howland. And Harvey, being down on the field, the two of us together, and seeing these players, Warren Howland coming in with a 3-0 record on this young season. The Saints, meanwhile, are 2-1. There's a lot of big size out there.
This Warren Howland team is just huge, Ron. Across that offensive front line, the lightest man is 225 pounds, and he's an end. The rest of them go up to 300-pounder, who's being highly recruited. He's already signed with Ohio State, and we'll talk more about him. This is just a huge football team, and they don't mince words. They just come at you, line up, and say, here we come. It's not going to get fancy, but here we go at you. And Southview's going to have to really be at the top of their game in terms of quickness and agility because they just can't stand up toe-to-toe with this team.
And Southview, we understand, was dealt a double negative blow from last week's game against Warrensville Heights. Not dressing and not playing tonight is the big tackle, Tony Rodriguez, and the big tailback, Jeff Hughes. What kind of impact is this going to have on the Saints?
Well, basically, it's just going to be huge, Ron. First of all, Rodriguez is their largest lineman, which means that they at least had at least one person who could kind of stand up to these large Warren boys. The second one is that Hughes has the ability to take the ball the distance any time. And talking with the Warren coaches, I think that big smile wasn't just because they'd enjoyed the bus trip from Warren to Lorain. They were very happy when they heard that Hughes was not going to play. They recognized also, having seen some film, that he's just a devastating runner, and when Jeff takes away, he can take it 5, 6, 7, 8 times and make 3, 4, 5 yards, and pretty soon, boom, there goes that 65-yarder, and that's the one that Southview's going to miss tonight.
And we certainly saw that when we were here doing the Southview-Parma football game.
Right.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff and the start of tonight's game, but we're also going to have a ceremony to honor the United States and the families of the victims of that devastating attack by the terrorists that hit New York City and Washington, D.C. this past Tuesday, September 11th. The program put together by our athletic director, Ray Ebersol, and some of the other administrative staff from the central office. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back with that honor and that program.
They came from every corner of the country. From small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines. A tough and determined few, dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still they come. Celebrate the 225-year history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing now as we honor a moment of silence and remembrance of the victims who were lost in this Tuesday's tragic accident. And direct your attention now to the field at the north end of the Southview bench as we join the captains of tonight's teams in the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.
To honor America and all Americans in this time of sadness, please join in singing the national anthem.
Football action just about ready to get underway here at George Daniels Stadium after the observance to honor those who died in this country after the tragic events of September 11th. But you know, Harv, watching television this past week, they interviewed a lot of New Yorkers, and everyone they talked to said life has to go on.
Absolutely, Ron. It seems to be the theme around the country, even the president's talking about this, that we have to get back as soon as we can to normalcy.
We can understand the cancellation of Major League Baseball and the NFL and a lot of the major college games because of the transportation involved, and that being mainly flying.
Right.
Southview will be kicking off defending the south goal. Warren Howland will be receiving and defending the north goal. And kicking off for the Saints, Josh Fossey. And a high kick.
Short.
Taken on the 25-yard line and bringing the ball up for the Howland Tigers.
Yeah.
I do believe Mark Fowler.
Tackle there made by Brian Joyner, number 50, getting down there on the play. Brian's a sophomore, and we'll see quite a few sophomores in the game for Southview before the night's over.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers, the ball on their own 38-yard line. We'll check the starting offensive lineup for the Tigers in a moment.
But they're not full eye, Ron. They're just going to come at us.
And the give is to the fullback, Brian Spence, a 195-pound senior. Spence gets the ball up close to the 44-yard line, just inside the 45 before being tackled by John Stefanchik. The quarterback, as we said, for the Tigers is Rick Clark, a 175-pound senior. The fullback is Brian Spence. The tailback is Mark Reck, a 180-pound senior. The center is Sean Unger, 265-pound senior, 6 foot tall. And the give this time is to the third man through.
That'll be Reck.
Mark Reck, the ball carrier, a 180-pound senior, picks up a first down for the Tigers. The ball just inside the 50, and the tackle made by Matt Vimpenny.
Ron, this is pretty much what we thought we were going to see out of this Warren Howland team. They're just lining up behind that big, huge line that you just described, and they're coming right at us, and they're just trying to bang away at us.
Rick Clark calling the signals for the Tigers. The give is to the second man, the fullback, Brian Spence. And Spence is met by a host of St. tacklers. Leading the way, Richard Robinette.
They got a little penetration that time. They tried
gain of about a yard.
Southview's sticking an awful lot of people right up in that line of scrimmage. I think we're going to see that all night, Ron. They're just going to have to put as many people as they can up there, and we'll have to be careful, be looking out to see if Warren doesn't come out with some play-action pass somewhere along the line.
2nd down and 9. We'll try to get the offensive line in right after this play for the Tigers. The give is to the third man through, Mark Reck again, the tailback. Reck looking for running room on the near side. Run out of bounds by the Southview Saints.
Sean Nixon.
Sean Nixon doing the job. Looking at the guards for the Tigers, the left guard is Lance Salter, a 6'2", 230-pound junior. The right guard is Craig Salas, a 6', 240-pound senior. The left tackle is Ryan Nutt, a 6'4", 260-pound junior. The right tackle is Doug Dottish, a 6'6", 300-pound senior. The one that you indicated, Harv, will be going to Ohio State
University.
University.
He'll be spending a little time in Columbus in the next 4 or 5 years, yes.
Dottish, by the way, bench presses 450 pounds and has a 3.8 GPA. So he is a scholar athlete, without a doubt.
In the best sense.
And the give is to the fullback, Brian Spence. Spence gets across the 40-yard line before being tackled by Stanley Robinson. The tight end is Craig Parrish, a 6'4", 225-pound senior. Parrish is being recruited by Virginia, Pitt, and just about every school in the Mid-American Conference. And the other end is Mike Post, a 6'3", 210-pound senior. So there you have the offensive lineup for the Howland Tigers. 3-0 on the season and on the march here at George Daniel Stadium with a 1st and 10 on the Southview Saint 38-yard line. The pitch goes back to the tailback, Mark Reck. Reck gets across the 35-yard line and is pushed back by the Southview Saints.
That was Markel Miller.
Leading the charge for the Saints defensively here in this ball game, the tackles are Steve Greer and Kyle Ramirez. The defensive ends are Eric Jimenez and Josh Henderson. The linebackers on the inside are George Berlingeri and Ronnie Soto. The linebackers on the outside are Stanley Robinson and John Brown. The corners are Sean Nixon and Jason Messer, and the free safety is Marquell Miller.
Ron, on that play, we should note that Stanley Robinson, number 6, came limping off. Now, Stanley is one of the more leading tacklers, so he's an outside linebacker. That could be a factor here.
The give is to the fullback, and he is met at the 35-yard line. Brian Spence, the ball carrier, gets the ball to about the 34-yard line.
Armando Rivera.
Tackle made by, well, you said it.
Now they stayed at home. A little counter play coming back, Ron, and Now that's the first time that Warren has really deviated from just taking the thing and saying, here we come, we're bigger and stronger than you are and we're coming at you. And Southview handled that play pretty well. Now this is the first big test for the Southview defense. If they can get them stopped here, we can get the ball back.
3rd down and 7 yards to go for the Tigers. Clark barking the signals. He's going to pass, looking for someone to receive, and throws the intended receiver, Greg Parrish, incomplete. It's going to be 4th down and 7.
Southview did a pretty good job of getting some linebackers out into that coverage to cover up underneath to take away some of the clear area for him to throw. It looks like they're going to punt the ball, Ron.
And Coach Dick Engel does send his punting team out. Doing the punting for the Tigers will be Eric Moore. Deep receivers for the Southview Saints include Jason Messer
and Markel Miller.
George Berlingeri also, or I'm sorry, that's 24. You're right. Terrence Beard. No, Terrence Beard.
Okay. Ooh. Oh.
And there is no flag.
No flag. He must have gotten a part of the ball. I would think, Ron. Boy, it looked like there was contact there, but if he got part of the ball, then it doesn't make any difference.
And the punt goes out of bounds. The Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard line. So the Tigers have the Saints deep in their own territory. Now checking offensively for the Saints. At quarterback is Mark Majoris, a 170-pound junior. The tailback is Terrence Beard, a 175-pound senior. The running backs are Stanley Robinson, a 170-pound junior, and Adam Figueroa, a 170-pound junior. The center is Paris Stevens, a 190-pound senior. And here come the Saints on their first play from scrimmage and met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. Getting up is the ball carrier, Terrence Beard. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Number 70 there.
Making the tackle for
Crawford. Andy Crawford, number 70 there.
Lanny Crawford.
Lanny Crawford. Yeah. There's 2 big kids right there.
On a pass play, in and out of the hands of Stanley Robinson, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
It's good to see Stanley back in the game, though. He limped off earlier, as I indicated, Ron, and they're going to need Stanley for the whole game, especially with the absence of Jeff Hughes.
Defensive tackles for the Tigers are Sean Unger and Don Spence. The defensive ends, Doug Datish and Eric Rhodes. Inside linebackers, Brian Spence and Greg Parrish. Outside linebackers, Anthony Petrosky and Eric Moore. Corners are Tony Davis and James Justice, and the safety is Mark Reck. In motion is Stanley Robinson, and the handoff is to Terrence Beard. Beard picks up a couple of yards on the play, maybe a yard at most, where it's going to be 4th down and a short 9, but a punting situation for Coach Tony Shoulders, 11.
Yeah. Dadish was in on that play. He is a both-way player, playing right defensive end also, and sticks a pretty good anchor in that defensive wall at 300 pounds.
Josh Fossey will be doing the punting, standing on about his own 3-yard line. Deep receiver for the...
Good snap. Oh,
and a great punt. Wow.
He hit it.
Lands on the 38 and takes a Saints bounce, and it's going to be downed on the 30-yard line.
That's a tremendous...
So the Saints, deep in their own territory, are able to give themselves some room here to navigate defensively as the Tigers take over again offensively.
He's going to get net a little over 55 yards on that, Ron. That was a tremendous weapon there. Oh, well, this.
All right, first.
Are you going to comment on that little exchange?
No, I'm not. No. All I'm going to say is we want to thank our athletic director, Ray Ebersol, for all the great ingredients up here in the press box for the media and the visiting coaches.
Absolutely. Stanley Robinson had another piece of that one along with 2 or 3 others.
Mark Reck, the ball carrier, gets the ball up to the 34-yard line where it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
You'll notice, Ron, that Southview has approximately 9 or 10 men within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're bunched up there. Talking to Tony Shoulders earlier this week, he just said that they have to stop the run. They have to get people up in there to stop the run. I'm back. Oh.
And a flag. I'm going to venture a guess and say this one is going to go against the Tigers.
Looks like they're pointing that way.
And the Southview Saints are applauding,
they're
so
happy.
they're going to go back about 5 yards, which will make it 2nd down and 11.
So far, Ron, every time Warren has come out of that full house backfield where they've just poured it at the Southview Saints, they've had something go a little bit funny. Had the penalty here. They ran the counter play out of an offset and didn't get a whole lot. So we'll see what happens here. They got those 2 men wide again.
Spence and Reck in the backfield. Clark, the quarterback. Clark going back to pass, looking over to the far side. The intended receiver for the Howland Tigers, DJ DeVesti, broken up in there by the Saints on the incomplete pass. It's now 3rd down and 11. Coach Dick Angle for the Howland Tigers in his 4th year with a 14-19 record, 14 victories, 19 defeats. And as we indicated, so far this year, 3-0 in their first game, defeating Campbell Memorial in the Youngstown area, 27-13. Then the second game, defeating Cleveland John Marshall, 42-0. And Lakeview Cortland, 28-0 last week.
Oh, big hole.
And the give is to Reck. Reck's got the first down and then some as he gets into Saints territory, finally brought out of bounds.
Markel Miller finally made the play here. Hit that draw play, and there was a big gap over the right tackle, which we might expect. That's where the big boy's playing, and there was a big hole there. They started motion one way and came back the other, Ron, and a couple of the Southview fellas got out of their lanes, and that's what results is a big play.
Ball spotted just inside the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. And the give is to the second man through, the fullback, Brian Spence. Spence picks up a couple of yards on the play, getting up to about the 41-yard line.
Ronnie Soto, number 22 there. Ronnie Soto making the tackle. Now, Ronnie's one of the leading tacklers for Southview, along with Markel Miller from his safety position. But got a lot of people up on the line of scrimmage. And
DJ DeVesti split wide to the left. In the backfield, Spence and Reck. And the pitch goes to Reck, looking for running room on the far side, across the 40, the 35. Still on his feet and eventually run out of bounds on about the 29-yard line. Picking up another big first down for the Tigers. Tackle made by Sean Nixon.
That time, Ron, they simply got outside. Southview slanted their line a little bit, and they picked it up pretty well. And this young man has pretty good speed, this Sean Reck. He runs the ball well, and he certainly knows how to turn up field and gain maximum yardage once he gets past the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 from the 29 as the Tigers come up to the line of scrimmage. We are in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 56 seconds remaining. Clock stopped when the runner went out of bounds. And on a quarterback keep, it's Clark right up the middle, taking advantage of the huge middle that they have. 230 pounds on one side of the center, 240 on the other, and the center himself, 265. A gain of 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. And don't forget, it's back. Don't miss this school year's premiere of Sports Scene with Tim Alcorn, now featuring Ray Ebersol, Athletic Director of Lorain City Schools. And starting Wednesday, September 19th, Tony Shoulders, football coach of Lorain Southview, will be the featured guest. Sports Scene is shown daily at 2 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. on TV 20. The give is to Reck. Reck across the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a third down for
Ronnie
the
Soto
Tigers.
again, another tackle by the linebackers in there. The Southview line is holding up pretty well so far. We're early in the first quarter, Ron, but they're giving away probably 50, 60 pounds or more a man, and so far they've held up. They're doing some stunning and veering, though, trying to use quickness to oppose the strength of the Warren offensive linemen.
Third down and 5 for the Tigers. If the Saints are going to hold, this would be the time to do it. Clark faking the pass and shovels off to Reck. Reck looking for the running room and a flag. And another flag.
Oh.
Mark Reck finally driven out of bounds over on about the 16-yard line. And we'll see what the flags are all about.
That was a tremendous amount of running by that young man. He put on a couple spin moves. There may be a face mask in here. I don't know, Ron. No, they're calling a clip. Okay, well,
clip against the Tigers.
That's going to help
That'll
Southview
help
tremendously.
Absolutely. That'll bring the ball back and then some, and it still will be third down. But no doubt the Tigers are in such a position on the field that they'll take 2 downs to hopefully get the first.
Yeah, I would think they'll not punt the ball this time.
The officials for the game, by the way, the referee is Kim Senteri. The umpire is Tom Udy. The linesman is Zane Gross. The line judge is Brett Swisher. And the back judge is Jerry Zerniewski.
Want to check, Ron, this is 3rd and 12. This is the time earlier in the drive when they ran that little draw play. See if they come back to that one. No, they're taking timeout. They're going to think about it a little bit here.
All right, the Tigers call timeout on the field with 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play, and there is no score in this ball game. We'll be back in a moment.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorraine.
Third down play for the Tigers. Third down and a long 11. The ball just over the 30-yard line and a little mix-up in the backfield. And that certainly helps the Southview Saints as Rick Clark went down.
Looks like they were going to pull a guard, Ron, and the guard stepped on the quarterback's foot. Happens to the best of us, I guess. But now
the ball just inside the 35. It's 4th down. And we'll see what's going to happen. John Earhart is in the game.
They may be going
like for a field goal.
Yeah, he stepped that off like a field goal. Now
they're putting the place on about the 42-yard line, so we're talking 52-yard field goal attempt.
I think the
by
Saints should
John
be
Earhart.
Alert for a fake.
On the other hand,
they should be alert for a fake at this time.
Clark is the holder, and it is a field goal attempt, but it's going to be short.
Yes, it is.
Fine attempt by a young man.
If that would have been 42 instead of 52, Ron, I'm not so sure he wouldn't have gotten it there. That was a pretty good leg into that ball.
Well, the Southview Saints have held the Howland Tigers, and they'll take over now, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
The way this is going, Ron, Southview's going to have to get a first down or two simply to get this defense a little bit of a rest over here. They've only have been out for 3 plays now in the first 9.5 minutes of the game, and they're going to be getting weary if that trend continues.
Terrence Beard in motion, and the give this time is to
Beard.
Trying to determine Stanley Robinson, the ball carrier.
Crawford made the tackle.
The ball on the 30-yard line. I'm sorry, the 20-yard line. No gain on the play. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah. some of these the young men playing on the Warren defense are just about as big off defensively. Some of them the same size as those offensive players, and they're just awfully hard to move right now.
Robinson in motion this time. And
Pass.
Mark Majoris back to pass. The intended receiver for the Southview Saints, and there is a flag in
yes.
that vicinity. The intended receiver was Terrence Dozier. And there's also a flag back on the 16-yard line.
We got.
So we have two flags on the field, one on the 35 and one back on the 16, and the officials are talking it over, trying to figure out what it's going to be all about.
Good interference one way.
Interference against the Tigers. And roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer now.
Well, they're going to give all the options to Ferris Stevens, captain on the field right now, as they're talking. Either way, the Saints are going to benefit.
It's going to be a first down, either way it goes here.
And they're going to accept the roughing the passer penalty, bringing the ball out to the 35-yard line, where the Saints will continue their efforts with a 1st and 10.
The roughing the passer was the 15-yarder on the personal foul. The interference, since it was less than the 15 yards, it would have been at the point where the foul occurred, which would have been about a 12 or 13-yard penalty. So Southview picked up an extra yard or two by taking the roughing the passer.
Robinson again in motion, coming to the near side. The pitch goes to Terrence Beard. Beard trying to find some running room. Gets across the 35, maybe picked up a yard on the play before being run out of bounds. Greg Parrish making the stop for the Tigers.
That's the young man you suggested was being recruited by a lot of schools, Ron. And,
Virginia, University of Pittsburgh, and just about every school in the MAC, Mid-American Conference.
You got a young man at 6'4" and 225 who runs like that. I can understand simply the raw ability.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9 for the Saints. Again, Robinson in motion. And this time, Majoris looking to pass, can't find anyone, and he's going to be stormed, and he's going to have a loss of maybe about 2 yards on the play. They'll spot the ball back inside the 35, where it's going to be 3rd down and, well, 3rd down and 10.
They sent their outside linebacker that time, Eric Moore, on number 34, and he just got through, and while he didn't make the tackle on Majoris, by making him dodge and move around, it eliminated any opportunity to throw the football.
Possible passing play here by the Saints. But Majoris turns it over to Terrence Beard, and Beard gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's as far as he's going to go. No gain on the play, 4th and 10, and a punting situation for the Southview Saints. Josh Fossey will be doing the punting.
See if he can get another one like he had the last one, Ron. That was a tremendous kick, got Southview out of a deep hole.
Mark Reck is back on about his own 20-yard line, coming up a little bit closer now. Fossey will be kicking from his 23. We've got under 30 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter, and they're going to put on the big rush, but Fossey gets it away. Nice punt, lands on the 30, takes a Saint bounce, and they're going to let it roll, and it's going to be down on the 16-yard line. Where the Tigers will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 16 with 16 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter and no score in the ball game.
He did an excellent job of getting that ball off against the rush run, and then he got about a 10-yard roll on it. And once again, he's put Warren back in pretty deep position here. So, and they did use up about 2 or 3 minutes of the quarter there to allow the defensive boys to get over here, get a little water, and get a little rest to see if they can stop Warren again with this. Here they come right at him attack.
All right, we'll have time for this one play, and that should bring the first quarter to an end. Rick Clark, the quarterback, barking the signals. Gives
Draw.
it to the second man, and it's Mark Reck, and the Saints were waiting for this one.
And that's Stanley Robinson making that play. Now, that's basically the play they broke big the time before, Ron. And
In fact, there's a loss of a yard on that play, Harv, and it's going to be second down and 11, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. No score in the ball game. They'll move the ball down to the south end of the field, and we'll be back to continue the action right after this timeout.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
We're all different.
We have one thing in common. The first time we were offered marijuana, we said what was on our minds.
Second quarter action ready to get underway here at George Daniel Stadium. No score in this ball game. The Howland Tigers with a second down and 11 to open up the second quarter. Clark barks the signal. Hands it off to his tailback, Mark Reck. And again, the Southview Saints staying home, and they make the big stop.
Getting some penetration that time, definitely, which was Eric Jimenez got a little penetration that time, too. They got some people across the line of scrimmage that time. They hit some gaps and got through, Ron.
No gain on the play, third down and 11. Big third down play for the Tigers.
Right.
And this will be obviously a significant defensive effort on the part of the Saints if they want to get the ball back.
Yeah, and this would give them a chance to turn the field around a little bit in terms of getting a shorter field to work with.
Clark taking his time with the signals, finally gets the snap and hands it off, and oh my goodness, we've got a first down. Coming through for the Tigers is Maurice Smith, a 210-pound junior fullback.
Markel Miller made the tackle there at safety, but that's, boy, and there was a big chance, Ron, to get the field turned around, get it back on, and make them punt it from their own 20 or so, and maybe get a short field out of it.
First and 10 from the Tigers' 29-yard line. Give again is to the fullback, Maurice Smith, now in the ball game, replacing Brian Spence. Tackle made by Wendell Polian.
You got a hand in there on that one. Josh Henderson.
They're spotting the ball just inside the 35-yard line. We'll call it the 34. A gain of 5 yards on the play, second down and 5.
Last 2 times, the fullback had the ball both times, and the Southview boys were hustling after the tailback and left some holes for him to run through.
And it's the third man through this time. Mark Reck, the tailback, and he's gone. He's to the 30, he's to the 20, he's to the 10, 5, and touchdown. With 9:55 remaining in the second quarter of play, Mark Reck breaking the big one.
But, Ron, we want to put a star by that 3rd and 10 play where the fullback Smith came up there for 12 yards because that's the one that kept the drive alive. Then he ran the fullback another time for 5 and then faked the fullback one way and came with the young man on the counter and made a real nice spin move down here after a 5-yard gain and then just took it all the way.
Touchdown run in excess of 60 yards for Mark Reck. And on the extra point attempt, John Earhart with Rick Clark, the holder. Good snap, ball is down, kick is in the air, and it's good. And again, with 9:55 remaining in the second quarter of play, it's now the Howland Tigers 7, the Southview Saints nothing. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
Es más que una prueba de fuego. Es un ritual de madurez. Y si vence el miedo, es más astuto que su enemigo. Y nunca se rinde aún ante sí mismo. Entonces usted cambiará para siempre. The few, the proud, the Marines.
John Earhart kicking off for the Tigers. Ball spotted on the 40. And a good kickoff taken on the 10-yard line. And it's Stanley Robinson coming over to the near side and out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Good run back by Stanley Robinson.
Excellent run back.
25-yard kickoff return for Robinson. Tackle made by Eric Moore. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints as they'll attempt now to put some points on the board. Tony Shoulders looking for a way to improve on last year's 4-6 record, 2-1 so far in this young 2001 season. Majoris and hits in the open. Adam Figueroa breaks into the clear and gets down into Tiger territory. They're going to spot the ball on the 38-yard line.
That's Reck again making the tackle, but boy, that was a fine throw by Mark that time. He came over there, set his feet well, and got his shoulders turned. Hard ball to throw going to your left, and he got turned and put the ball right in there.
Coming into this ball game, Majoris 17 completions on 43 attempts with 2 interceptions and 200 yards, but this was one that really helped and counted a great deal. Majoris being chased, he's going to be thrown for a loss. As he was looking for someone to throw to, Stanley Robinson coming over here to the near side was in the open momentarily, but Majoris was in no position to throw the ball as he was being pulled down, making the stop Greg Parrish.
It's at number 1. It's the young man again.
Loss of 5 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 15. Robinson in motion to the far side. Majoris back to pass. In the middle.
Again. Good protection and a good
completion
throw.
To Jason Messer, the 170-pound junior, and a big first down for the Southview Saints. They've got the ball on the 18-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10.
It's a repeat of the one they just threw with just a different receiver. He's alternating the players in and out, but boy, Majoris put that ball right where the other was. He made 2 excellent throws here, Ron. Excellent throws.
As long as that line can hold and the receiver get in the open, Majoris has got pinpoint accuracy. Proved that twice already in this drive. Majoris being chased again as he's trying to come over to the near side. The second time he's tried to come here to the near side to get a receiver, he's been pulled down in the backfield. And a big loss this time. Wow.
Eric Roden coming across there that time.
They've got the ball on the 27-yard line. That's a loss of 10 yards. It's 2nd down and 20.
Interesting, Ron, that both times they've come to the right, they've had trouble getting the ball off. When they've gone to the left, they've been able to get the protection, get it thrown. They're unbalanced left now. Throw it, Mark.
And Majoris was attempting to get it out to Stanley Robinson.
Mark just took a shade too long. They ran a blitz that time, and he saw Stanley. He just recognized it probably a half second late in terms of just dumping the ball over all their heads to Stanley. And if he could have gotten it out there, Stanley had a lot of sideline to run on. But
on the incomplete pass, it's 3rd down and 20. Again, I would like to think the Saints are in a position on this field to make 2 efforts to get that first down and possibly the end zone.
Yeah, I think so, Ron.
Robinson in motion. Majoris hands it off this time to Terrence Beard. Beard gets some running room and gets inside the 20-yard line.
Now that may have been just enough to, that run there on the draw play, maybe just enough to give him a shot at a field goal here, Ron. Got the ball right in the center of the field.
And Josh Fossey is out on the field. He is the soccer player and also kicker for the Southview Saints. Jason Messer will be doing the holding. The ball will be spotted on the 27-yard line, a 37-yard field goal attempt by Josh Fossey. Ball is down, in the air, and it is good. And
Boy.
with 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play, the Southview Saints on the board. The score, 7 for the Howland Tigers, 3 for the Southview Saints. Back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
That was impressive.
While progress should never come to a halt, there are many places it should never come to at all. So we work locally with communities, businesses, and people like you to save precious places around the world, forever. I'm Paul Newman. Help the Nature Conservancy save the last great places.
Southview Saints ready to kick off. Josh Fossey on the kickoff from his 40. And another big test for the Southview Saints defense. Kickoff taken by Reck back on the 18-yard line. And the ball brought out. That was not Reck, my apology. That was DJ DeVesti.
Tackle made again by Brian Joyner on the kickoff. That's 2 of them Brian's gotten tonight.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. The ball spotted on their own 33-yard line.
We'll see if that field goal can get Southview a little set up again now. They had played a very excellent first quarter on defense and then had 3 bad plays in a row when Warren came down and scored. And now, but after the offense getting the field goal, we'll see if they can get their defense back together and shut down Warren again.
We've got some discussion going on the sidelines as play is being held up momentarily. Looking up towards the press box.
We didn't do anything wrong, did we, Ron?
No, we didn't do anything at all. Speaking of the press box, once again, want to send appreciation to Tops Supermarket at the center of Sheffield, to Scorchers at 9th and Broadway in downtown Lorraine for providing the goodies, along with our outstanding athletic director, Ray Ebersol. Really knows how to take care of the press, the media, visiting coaches. First-class operation. Right. Give is to Brian Spence back in the ball game at fullback. Spence gets the ball up close to the 40-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down.
George Berlingeri had a part of that one, Ron. They've run with fullback now several times in a row here. It looks like Warren changing their way from the tailback on a regular basis to get more people involved in their offense.
It'll be 2nd down and a short 5 for the Tigers. We're down to 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Tigers leading 7-3. The give is again to the fullback with plenty of running room on the far side. Finally knocked out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Well, they're going to spot it back on the 45 where he initially stepped out. Marquell Miller making the stop for the Southview Saints. But it's a 1st down, the ball in Saints territory. In the ball game now, Maurice Smith at fullback. bulls his way across the 40-yard line. They'll put the ball on the 38, where it's going to be second down for the Tigers. Defensively for the Southview Saints, we want to make a correction on something that occurred 2 weeks ago when we did the Southview Parma game because of a problem with the roster as it was printed and given to us. We were giving credit to a number 32 when in reality number 32 was John Brown for the Southview Saints, and we were calling him Adel Velez because that was the name in the program for number 32. Needless to say, John Brown is number 32, Velez is number 37, and John Brown played a whale of a ball game. Pass from Clark going to Greg Parrish, and Parrish gets inside the 10-yard line. No flags. Well, there is one back on the 35. Hold the fort. A flag on the 35, and it looks like it's going to be against the Tigers because they appear to be rather upset.
Yeah, they're walking backwards, Ron. Must have been a hold in there, it looked like on the protection, but mentioning John Brown, he's a very excellent sophomore for Southview, who I think is going to end up being a real good player by the time he gets done with his career.
The officials trying to sort out where they're going to...
The passer was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, Ron, which makes it an illegal forward pass on the rollout.
And that's also a loss of down, isn't it?
I believe it is. Should be. And it is...
so the ball
should be
back
third down.
On the 43-yard line.
Is that second on the
down.
board?
Second down and 8.
We still in second?
Well, that was a first down play.
Okay.
So it's second down and 8.
There's the fullback again.
Spence, the ball carrier. They just cannot bring him down. Yeah. He picks up the first down for the Tigers.
He's a very strong young man, Ron, and
210 pounds.
Right. Southview's making the mistake of trying to tackle him high, and you just can't tackle a young man that strong and that big high. He's just going to keep rolling with you. Somebody's going to have to get him around the knees and actually get him knocked down.
And he's not your typical short, stubby type of fullback.
No, he's not a short stub. Yes,
6'1".
He runs hard, and Southview's doing a lot of just pouring the linebackers in to try to get things jammed in the middle.
From the 31-yard line, first and 10. The give again is to Spence.
Yes.
Spence right up the middle. Spence with the first down. Spence to the 20-yard line, just inside. If they leave it there, it's going to be another first and 10 for the Tigers. Clock is stopped momentarily as they move the chains. 4:42 remaining in the second quarter.
The size of the Warren team is beginning to wear some things down.
Oh, I have Maurice Smith right here.
7 is Smith.
Give again is to Maurice Smith. Smith gets across the 15-yard line. Gain of 5 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 5. I might have arbitrarily said Spence when I meant to say Maurice Smith.
Right. I understand that. I understand how those things go. But what they've done by giving the ball to the up background, they're getting there to the line much quicker, and that's taking time. Southview can't get off the blocks.
Maurice Smith at fullback. Mark Reck, a tailback. And on the keep.
Oh, missed tackle.
A pass from Clark into the end zone intended for Greg Parrish, incomplete.
Southview did have good pressure on him, though. Even though they missed the tackle for the sack, they made him take 2 different steps to avoid somebody. He couldn't plant his feet to throw the ball, Ron, so it was pretty good penetration. Looks like number 54 threw a shoe down there.
Yes, he's putting it back on, tying it up. On the incomplete pass, it's going to be third down and 5. And the ball is on the 15-yard line.
Pretty important fella that they're trying to get ready there. That's the center, Ron. The whole world's got to wait for the center.
Last week, the Southview Saints played Warrensville Heights and were soundly defeated by the Warrensville Heights Tigers 40-14. And Coach Tony Shoulders had a few comments to make about that, and we'll bring that to your attention before the night's over.
It's a fullback
to give again to Maurice Smith. Smith up to around the 10-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball. It could be a first and goal. And a fumble on the play, apparently. The Southview Saints have recovered.
All over.
Oh, yes. A fumble on the play, and the Southview Saints recover. First and 10. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. As we indicated, Tony Shoulders, the head coach for the Southview Saints, said we can't take it away from the Warrensville Heights Tigers. It was a good team. They were big, strong, and fast. Southview beat them last year by a score of 35-7. He said our kids did not come ready to play. That was the bottom line. Majoris, the intended receiver on that pass play for the Southview Saints, Jason Messer, and he was hammered. No flag on the field. It'll be second down and 10.
They did get better protection for him, though, this time, Ron, coming to the right, which they had been having trouble with before, so that he had time to throw the ball.
Talking again about that 40-14 defeat last Friday, Coach Shoulders said, I just had a bad feeling. And he told the team how he felt. But apparently it just didn't register, and they went out there and they played just the way he felt that they were going to.
Just the way he was afraid they would.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Coaches have a way of knowing that. It's Preston.
Stanley Robinson, the ball carrier.
He got about a yard.
It'll be 3rd down and 9. Pickup of a yard on the play, 3rd and 9. Also asked Coach Shoulders how he felt about playing this game tonight. In view of all the professional teams, Major League Baseball, National Football League, college teams canceling for the weekend, he said they didn't practice Tuesday, and he kind of struggled with it, but as so many have said, even the New Yorkers, we have to move on. Pass from Majoris to the near side. The intended receiver for the Southview Saints, number 84, Marquell Miller. Incomplete. It'll be 4th and 9 and a punting situation for the Saints.
I was waiting for that run. One of the things they want to do is Marquell Miller, who's a sophomore, has tremendous playmaking ability, and he caught 2 touchdown passes last week, and in light of his ability, I think they're going to try to get him the ball quite a few times tonight before this thing's all over.
Fossey standing back on his 1-yard line. Good snap. Gets the ball away as he was rushed by the Tigers as they tried to block that. And the ball will roll dead. And the Tigers will take over. 1st and 10 from the Southview Saints 33-yard line. And we have a Tiger down on the field. Back around the 2-yard line.
It was one of the youngsters jumping at trying to block the punt, Ron, and
he might have gotten kicked somehow. 2:45 remaining in the first half of play. 7-3 our score with the Howland Tigers in the lead. And we'll be back in a moment.
Athletic competition is all about potential. The opportunity to look inside yourself, to challenge yourself, to be better than you ever dreamed imaginable. Junior achievement is also about dreams and the potential to make those dreams come true. JA's free enterprise education programs help kids say, I can, when everything around them says you can't. Junior achievement. Let their potential be your inspiration.
First and 10 for the Tigers on the Southview Saints 33-yard line. Excellent field position with 2:45 remaining. Clark barks the signal, gives it to Mark Reck. Reck to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Spotting the ball just over the 30.
This is a huge, huge series right now for Southview, Ron. If they can go in down 7-3 as opposed to 14, this would just be huge because they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So this is really an important series right now in terms of the ebb and flow of the ball game.
On the second down play, right up the middle, the give to the fullback, Brian Spence.
I think what happened, Ron, last time, they had run Smith so many times in a row, he probably got popped and he was a little tired and dropped the ball, and now they have the other young man in here, Spence.
Brian Spence, the starting fullback. Ball is spotted on the 26-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. And coming out of the ball game for the Southview Saints is George Berlingeri. Shaking his hand like maybe someone had stepped on it.
A lot of things happen down in those piles, Ron, between the cleats and the headgears and everything else flying around.
Now they're cleaning up his right arm.
Yeah.
Might have picked up a cut. Clark pitching off
on
to
the
Matt.
option. Oh.
And Reck trying to find some running room on the far side. We'll see where they spot that ball. If the Tigers did in fact pick up a first down, they've got it on the 23-yard line.
It's going to be
fourth down and just a foot.
Could be this quarterback sneak again, Ron. No?
Oh, he couldn't handle the ball.
He dropped it. Oh, they got through.
And it was Spence, the ball carrier. The whistle blew, and Southview Saints
missed the
tacklers
snap from
let
center.
go, and Spence continued, but it was too late. The Southview Saints have held. They've done a yeoman's job defensively, and they'll take over 1st and 10. The ball just inside their 25-yard line with 49 seconds remaining in the first half.
That was just a huge series for Southview. The fact that they could hold the ball, hold them right there at that position and get the ball back.
Clark unable to handle that snap from center certainly did help matters. Majoris looking to pass.
Oh.
And the intended receiver, Adam Figueroa. Figueroa on about his 35-yard line, incomplete. The ball thrown over his head.
Yeah.
It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's interesting. Mark has had much more success going to his left to throw than he has to his right in accuracy there, Ron, the first half.
The incomplete pass stopping the clock with 44 seconds remaining.
I would think Southview'd come out running here, although Warren has some timeouts left too. Last thing you want to do is get a kick block down here
Robinson
deep.
in motion coming to the near side. Majoris looking to pass. And the intended receiver for the Southview Saints.
Yeah. This could be a big play now because I'm going to assume that no matter if Warren stops them, even if it's a running play, they'll take timeout and then they'll put that huge rush on the punter again to try to block one, Ron.
Adam Figueroa was the intended receiver. Incomplete pass, 39 seconds remaining. It's still 3rd down, or it is
it's
third down and still 10 yards to go.
Draw.
And on a running play, it's Terrence Beard. Beard gets up to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards where it's going to be 4th down, and the Howland Tigers calling timeout with 29.5 seconds remaining. They'll no doubt get the ball on the punt right after this timeout.
Breast cancer doesn't just affect women. This year, over 40,000 women will die. The Breast Cancer Research Foundation has given over $20 million in research grants. Please, help us make a difference. Call now, 1-866-FIND-A-CURE.
This will be a major play here for the Southview Saints, even though it is a punting situation with a 4th and 5. Josh Fosse is back on his 18-yard line. Hopefully a good snap from center. The line will hold the rushing Tigers because they will attempt with every effort they've got to get in there and block that punt. And we're going to invite you to stay tuned to the halftime for the Southview Saints Marching Band. You'll see the complete halftime show by the Saints Band, brought to you by the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorraine. Seems like there's some confusion as they wait for the timeout clock to run down.
Run it down now. It's going to take us longer to play this last minute, Ron, than it did the first 23. Now Southview's taking timeout.
Southview takes a timeout on the field. And once again, we'll be back right after this.
I'm Morton Downey Jr., so-called television tough guy. You know something? I knew cigarettes could never hurt me. Wrong. Now I've got lung cancer, and I could die. What really bothers me is I won't be around to see my 2.5-year-old grow up and say no to smoking.
If you don't smoke, don't start. If you want to quit, call the American Lung Association at 1-800-LUNG-USA.
Hopefully now everything has been worked out. They're still trying to figure something out on the field. I believe the clock is not correct.
It can't be 49. That's not right. 49 was what it was when that whole series started.
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Definitely wrong. Definitely wrong.
Yes, definitely. They just gave them about
good snap from center and an excellent punt by Josh Fosse. Takes a Southview bounce picked up by Mark Reck.
He's got space.
On the far side. On the far side. And out of bounds at the mid-stripe. Clock is stopped with 46 seconds remaining. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Howland Tigers. And they'll start right from the mid-stripe.
Now they got the clock. They just ran it down to, Ron, in 6 seconds we had 2 passes, a running play, a timeout, a punt, and a 20-yard return. And all that took 6 seconds. This is amazing.
Well, even the fans are turning around and trying to find out what's going on, looking up towards the second tier of this press box where the clock is kept.
Yeah, this could be major.
Well, here again, the Southview Saints defense need to rise to the occasion. Clark to pass on the far side, out of bounds. Mike Post, the intended receiver. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's that big 6'3" receiver over there. Southview still had their defensive backs up fairly close, Ron, even on that play. They're backing them off now. They're backing off a little bit, but there's single coverage over here. Uh-oh, there's only one man over here with 2.
Clark again, back to pass, shovels it off to Mark Reck. Reck looking for running room, pulled down from behind, picks up a 1st down, however, for the Tigers, and they'll stop the clock while they move the chains. The ball is on the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, hurry up offense.
Yeah, they're back on the ball. Okay.
And the clock continues now, 25 seconds, and quarterback Clark takes the snap and tosses it to the ground. That stops the clock with 24.8 seconds. They'll go back in huddle and discuss what they want to do on their 2nd down play, 2nd and 10 from the Saints' 37-yard line.
It's pretty obvious now that they're going to be throwing the ball, but boy, this clock thing could be huge yet, Ron. Don't want to sound like all we're doing is griping about sour grapes, but it's our home field. We're supposed to have.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let everybody else figure out the rest of that line.
And the clock operator is from Lorraine Southview High School.
Right.
Clark back to pass again, throws the long one down the middle, the intended receiver out of his reach.
Markel Miller back defending.
Eric Moore, the intended receiver.
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd down and 10.
We have a lot of field over here to the left. The play when they ran the little shovel pass, they had 2 wides out here, and they could come back here with the double wide and try to get somebody on a combination deep.
19 seconds remaining.
Right, 3rd down. Sweep.
And it's Mark Reck, the ball carrier. Knocked out of bounds, stopping the clock with 13 seconds remaining. The ball will be spotted on the 31-yard line where it's going to be 4th down. Gain of 5 yards on the play, 4th and 5 for the Tigers.
13 seconds left. They would have enough time to try to get the 1st down, and then if they have a timeout, kick a field goal. As we know, they've tried one from 52 yards before.
Big 4th down play for the Tigers. Clark barking the signals. Gets the ball, looking to pass. Down the middle, and it's intercepted by the Southview Saints. The Southview Saints stop the Tigers from going on the scoreboard.
It's Markel, I believe. Yeah.
Number 80 for the Southview Saints, and that is Adam Figueroa. Excellent defensive play by the Southview Saints and Adam Figueroa, who made that interception with 6 seconds on the clock. No doubt the Southview Saints will take the snap, put the knee to the ground, and go into the locker room trailing by 4 points.
Adam Figueroa, Ron, is a wonderful story. You know, I've had some association with coaching some of these young men when they were 8th graders at Whittier. He was one of those young men who was very small as an 8th grader, and he just played with heart that was much bigger, and now he's kind of growing into it, and he's played well here tonight again.
That's exactly what happens. Quarterback Mark Majoris takes the snap from center Ferris Stevens, puts the knee to the ground, and that brings the first half of play to an end with the Southview Saints trailing 7-3. Stay tuned now for the halftime show featuring the Southview Saints Marching Band, brought to you by the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorraine. And if you're watching us on Saturday, September 15th, or Sunday, September 16th, just a reminder that the movie being shown at the Palace, Spy Kids, rated PG, showtime both Saturday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Next weekend, Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd, and Sunday the 23rd, the movie will be Dr. Doolittle, and that also rated PG. Friday and Saturday showtime, 7 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Sunday, because Sunday night at 7:30 will be the Glenn Miller Orchestra. 7:30 performance on Sunday, September 23rd. Call the Palace at 245-2323 for ticket information. And this halftime performance by the Southview High School Marching Band brought to you by the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. Speaking of big bands, a reminder on Sunday, September 23rd at 7:30 p.m., it's going to be the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and they'll, without a doubt, put on a fine performance. That same weekend, Friday the 21st and Saturday the 22nd, you'll be able to take the kids and see Dr. Dolittle. It's a PG-rated movie, 7 p.m. both Friday and Saturday night. But because of the Glenn Miller concert Sunday night, the 23rd at 7:30 p.m., the movie will be shown at 2 p.m. on Sunday, September 22nd. The admission is just $1.50. It can't get any better than that on Lorain County's largest screen with the best sound system in the world. That's the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. Give them a call for ticket information on Glenn Miller and Willie Nelson, almost a sellout for October 17th. That phone number is 245-2323.
My name is Maya, and my cat's name is Millie. This is Billy. I know Billy.
Where did you get Millie?
On the shelter. Next time I'm going to get a dog. And my dog's name is going to be Snowball.
Where are you going to get Snowball?
At the shelter. They take very good care of animals at the shelter.
Second half action getting underway here at George Daniels Stadium. The Howland Tigers will kick off, defending the north goal. The Southview Saints receiving, defending the south goal. John Earhart putting the foot to the ball, and picked up by Southview Saints Ronnie Soto. Gets the ball across the 35-yard line, where the Saints will take over 1st and 10 from their own 37. Our score here in the ball game, the Howland Tigers 7 by virtue of a 66-yard touchdown run by tailback Mark Reck. And the Southview Saints with 3 points by virtue of a field goal, 42-yarder kicked by Josh Fossey. In motion, Ronnie Soto for the Saints. And right up the middle. The ball carrier, Stanley Robinson, gets the ball to about the 47-yard line, close to a first down. It'll be 2nd down and a short yard. Mark Reck making the tackle for the Tigers.
That was probably their most successful running play of the game, Ron, at 9 yards.
In the first half, the Southview Saints, according to one of the statisticians up here, had 0 yardage rushing, while the Howland Tigers had 231.
He did get forward for the first down that time.
All right, first down run by Stanley Robinson. The ball spotted just inside the mid-stripe. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints.
That's certainly an encouraging sign to get that first down in 2 running plays after the first half, where basically Southview just could not run against this very huge Howland defensive line. So we'll see if he can continue this, and if they can make some running plays go, then the passing might be a little more productive.
Coming into this ball game, the Southview Saints have 610 yards rushing. The intended receiver on that pass play for the Southview Saints, Adam Figueroa, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. They also had 200 yards through the air for a total of 810 yards offensively, as we said, coming into this ball game tonight. The Southview Saints, as a team in the first 3 games, put 53 points on the scoreboard for an average of 17.7 per game, while giving up 74, or a 24.7 average. But tonight the defense is rising to the occasion. The pitch goes to Stanley Robinson. Robinson is pushed back when he gets to the mid-stripe. No gain on the play, while they're going to spot the ball just inside the 50, so the ball will be inside Tiger territory. A gain of a yard. 3rd down and a long 9.
This has just been one of those things, Ron, where the Southview offensive linemen just cannot sustain blocks against these very large young men. no matter what position they get, they're just being overpowered and not being able to control the line of scrimmage at all.
Looking across the front four for the Tigers, 300 pounds, 265, 240, 220, 220.
And the linebackers are good size also.
On the pass play, in and out of the reach.
Ooh.
The intended
Markel
receiver,
Miller.
Markel Miller, and Marquell Miller just couldn't quite hang on. That brings a punting situation, 4th and 9. Marquell Miller last week against Warrensville Heights scored the 2 touchdowns that the Saints were able to put on the scoreboard. One a 7-yard pass play and the other a 26-yard pass play. Both passes coming from the arm of quarterback Mark Majoris. And a flag on the 4th down play. Excellent punt by Josh Fossey.
Would have rolled dead on about the 6. Oh boy.
Well, the flag was thrown before the punt was put in the air.
Procedure on South.
Be a 5-yard penalty marched off against the Southview Saints for illegal procedure. Brings the ball back to inside their own 45. 4th and 15. And again, Josh Fossey will be punting. Standing on his own 34-yard line. Deep back for the Tigers, Mark Reck. He's standing on his 17. High punt off the foot of Fossey. Takes a Tiger bounce, and it is down by the Southview Saints. It hit on the 28 and bounced back to the 32-yard line. The Tigers take over 1st and 10 from their own 32.
Pretty major penalty there, Ron, considering where we saw that first punt roll dead at.
And Fossey kicked it away from the direction of Mark Reck. So there's a good chance that there would not have been much of a run back, and
right.
Saints would have had the Tigers pinned back deep in their own territory. Rick Clark, the quarterback, barks the signal, gives it to the second man through, the fullback, Brian Spence. Spence still on his feet, finally brought down on the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Tackle made by Marquell Miller.
One of the things that's happening here, Ron, is Marquell from his halfback position, his safety position, is making an awful lot of tackles, which means they've been breaking containment up front, and that's never a real good sign.
Ball spotted on the 39. 2nd down and 3 will make it. Give again is to the fullback, Brian Spence, and the tackle made by Eric Jimenez. It'll be a 1st down for the Tigers. The ball is on their 44-yard line. 2 of the leading tacklers, according to the information posted in the Morning Journal's Scholastic Athletic supplement on Fridays, The Edge, has Ronnie Soto in at 37 tackles on the season coming into tonight's game, and Marquell Miller with 26. Give again is to Brian Spence. Spence across the 45. Up to at least the 46-yard line. A gain of 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8. Ronnie Soto. Ronnie Soto, a 190-pound senior. Southview's front 4 defensively, 190 pounds, 240, 190, and 210. So they're definitely outweighed defensively by the Howland Tigers. Clark on the keeper, pitches back to Mark Reck, and we've got a flag. A flag on the Southview 48-yard line.
This may be another one of those forward pitches over there, Ron.
Well, the officials are talking it over. Let's sort it out and see what happens.
Right now it looks like we're having a major conference running back and forth with the officials.
And as they try to sort things out, and I'll let you keep an eye while we point out that
He's
it's
picking
back.
it up.
Well, apparently...
Apparently what he saw he didn't see.
It must have fallen out of his trousers there. And we'll leave it at that.
Okay. I just thought maybe what he saw he didn't see.
Mark Reck picking up the first down for the Howland Tigers. The ball just over the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
There's some kind of an explanation was just given over here to Coach Tony Shoulders, and I don't think Tony thought too much of the explanation, the way he walked away dejectedly.
Another big test for the Southview Saints defense.
Again,
Brian Spence, the ball carrier. Spence gets the ball close to the 32-yard line before being dropped by Sean Nixon. Gain of 9 yards on the play, 2nd down and 1.
They're finding that crease right off the tackle there, Ron, where those big tackles are just creating a seam, and then Spence and Smith both have found ways to fly through past the linebackers on into the secondary, and you have a lot of secondary tackles being made.
Spence, again the ball carrier, picks up a 1st down and moves it to the 20-yard line. The 195-pound senior fullback doing the bulk of the work here in the early moments of the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. The ball on the Southview Saints 20. Clark again hands it off to Spence, 2nd man through. Spence driving to the 15-yard line. They should spot the ball somewhere within the 15.
Gary Adkins had a piece of that one in there, Ron, but that's just, they're just pouring that big hulk in there, and the fullback, we got...
The ball is on the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 2. The big offensive line for the Tigers getting the job done. Clark on the keeper, and he's going to be thrown possibly to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard at the most. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Very well played over there, Ron. The quarterback, the offensive tailback, who should have been following for the pitch, actually got in front of the quarterback, and that caused some trouble for Howland because the Southview came hard after him once he broke the line of scrimmage. And big play now, 3rd and just a little bit.
Less than a yard. Spence again the ball carrier, gets the 1st down, moves inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers. Tackle made by George Berlingeri. Ball is on the 7-yard line.
Southview just sent another defensive lineman in, took one of their linebackers out to get another.
Whoever's manning the clock is not paying any attention to the head referee because he's got to show again and again and again to start that clock. It's an extremely important element in football on any and every level.
Absolutely.
Brian Spence, the ball carrier. Inside the 5-yard line. Ball is on the 3. It will be 2nd down and goal.
If I had to make a guess, Ron, I'd guess this fullback's going to get the ball again. Just off the top of my head here.
I'll bet you a donut.
Oh.
Anthony Petrosky lined up directly behind the quarterback, and the quarterback on the keeper. He's in the end zone. Touchdown.
And
you owe me a donut.
And that's why I don't coach anymore.
You owe me a donut. With 4 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, it's Rick Clark on a 3-yard plunge for the TD.
I think these Warren coaches down here are listening and making me look bad.
Of course, they also know that there are free donuts right behind you. So.
No, you're right there. You're right. Thank you, Mr. Eversole.
And thank you to Tops Supermarket at the center of Sheffield.
Absolutely. We have a timeout here.
Timeout on the field being called prior to the point after, and we'll be back right after this.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorraine.
Whatever the confusion was that caused the Tigers to call a timeout, it's been cleared up. The ball is on the 3. Rick Clark will take the snap from center. John Earhart, the point after. Ball is in the air. It's good. So with 4 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, it's the Warren Howland Tigers 14, the Southview Saints 3. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
There's this guy, always in my face, shouting at me, just pushes me, but I love him. He's my coach, my coach.
Be a coach, be a fan. Special Olympics.
Well, we're going to see who's going to kick this one off, because it definitely is not John Earhart. It looks to be, well, a short kick taken by the Southview Saints. And it's John Brown running the ball to the 39-yard line. Or is that number 38? Hard to tell.
Must have been 32. I don't see a 38 here, Ron.
Okay. We'll say John Brown.
He's an excellent young man. So.
And if we were wrong, it's just a makeup from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we can be an official for a while and have a little makeup call here.
There you go. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints on their own 39-yard line. Majoris back to pass.
Deep.
The far sideline and connects with Marquell Miller. Marquell Miller pulled down at the 39-yard line, and he is hobbling as he comes over to the sideline and the Southview bench. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. We certainly hope it's not a bad injury on Miller.
Yeah.
Ball is on the 39, 1st and 10.
Marquell just got excellent position and then actually out-jumped the young
man
for
did.
The ball. He is an athlete. He is an athlete through and through. And
the give is to Stanley Robinson. Robinson goes absolutely nowhere. Might have lost a little on that one.
Big Crawford
tackle made by Crawford.
That young man's been an anchor in there tonight, right in the middle of that line.
Slight loss on the play, 2nd down and a long 10 for the Southview Saints. Majoris
option. Oh,
on the option
Stanley.
play, pitches to Stanley Robinson, who goes nowhere and is brought down in his backfield. Tackle made by Parrish. Greg Parrish, the inside linebacker, 225-pound senior.
Oh, there's a good sign. There's Markel Miller going back into the game. So evidently it was a cramp more than anything, or a very slight twist.
Ball is on the 42-yard line, a loss of 3 yards on the play. 3rd down and 13. And we've got a whistle and a flag.
Too much time, or is it motion?
Well, it's going to be some movement on the line,
yeah.
because if it was delay of game, the flag would have been in the backfield. Learned that last week from Barry Buck.
Okay.
Yes.
Barry's been trying to teach you there?
Well, he hasn't been trying. It's just that I've been paying attention.
Oh, okay.
Illegal procedure against the Southview Saints will tack on 5 more yards, and that'll make it 3rd down and 18.
That is true. The back judge is in charge of that 25-second clock. Gives him something to do when he's standing way back there in the middle of nowhere.
Sean Nixon in motion, and the pass to Markel Miller.
What a
and
catch.
A flag.
I think it's going to be could be a face mask too. That was a great catch, Ron. That was just a tremendous catch. He had people
That's
hanging
two.
on him.
2 to Markel and 2 magnificent catches. In fact, he even got a pat on the shoulder pad by Greg Parrish of the Howland Tigers.
I guess I can tell the story when Markel was playing for us when I was doing my volunteer things over with the 8th grade at Whittier, and Markel was playing for us. I just called him Marquis, and he wanted to know why he was called Marquis. And I said, well, do you know what a marquee is? And explained about, and I said, the way you can play, son, someday you can put your name in lights. He can play. He has great hand-eye coordination and physical ability.
Personal foul against the Tigers, grabbing the face mask, and that brings the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line, giving Southview excellent field position with a 1st and 10. The ball just inside the 15. Sean Nixon in motion. Majoris looking to pass. He can't find anyone, and he's brought down back around the 20-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard loss, making a 2nd and 15.
Mark showed a little bit of his inexperience there. It was pretty clear he wasn't going to have anybody open, and he probably should have just dumped the ball over Sean's head onto the sideline there, Ron, to give them he would have gotten away with no loss then and had a 2nd and 10 instead of a 2nd and 15. And this is what happens when you're working with a young quarterback. Mark is a junior, and he'll be fine, but he's still learning.
And that's one of the advantage Coach Shoulders has to look forward to. A lot of his starters, offensively and defensively, are underclassmen.
Right.
Pass in the far sideline to Sean Nixon, incomplete.
Especially as players at the skilled positions with Majoris and Miller and Nixon and Jeff Hughes when he's healthy, and Stanley Robinson. They're all underclassmen. They all be back for another year. So he's got them all this year and next year. So he can keep working and develop his young linemen. He'll be in pretty good shape, I think, in another year.
3rd and 15. Nixon in motion. Majoris coming over to the near side in the end zone. Touchdown. Markel Miller in the end zone, covering on the play for the Tigers, and not able to get anywhere near Tony Davis. Correction on that. That was James Justice covering defensively. Markel Miller. 3 passes thrown to him and 3 outstanding completions. This one a touchdown.
Excellent little fade pattern there. Gave him a little move and went on pass. And let's give Majoris some credit. He threw an excellent ball that time. He gave the ball. He knows Markel can jump. He and he got the ball up there where Markel could go up and get it.
All right, the Southview Saints call a timeout on the field. They may want to discuss whether they want to go for 1 or 2. It's 14-9. Southview Saints trailing by 5 with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
Every time an adult gives up on our kids, every time we surrender to the belief that their future is out of our hands, another child is left behind. I'm General Colin Powell, and I don't believe in giving up. That's why I'm asking you to join America's Promise. Log on to americaspromise.org or give us a call. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you can do something important. Pull your weight.
And his offensive team have opted for the 2 points. Nixon in motion. Majoris to pass into the corner to Miller, and he just can't hang on. That would have brought the Saints to within 3 points, and a field goal would have tied. But with 1:20 remaining in the third quarter of play, it's Howland Tigers 14, the Southview Saints 9. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
One-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorraine.
Yard line. With 1:20 in the third quarter, is it too soon to expect an onside kick? And it's a long one. Taken on the 15-yard line by the Tigers. Bringing the ball up is Mark Reck, breaking in the open. He's to the 40, the 30. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. And there is no flag on the field. That an 85-yard touchdown run on the kickoff by Mark Reck. That's his second TD this evening.
We have a Southview Saint injured back on the 45-yard line, Ron.
Well, with the injured player on the field, the Tigers will be going for the point after. An opportunity for me to remind you that it's back. Don't miss this school year's premiere of Sports Scene with Tim Alcorn, now featuring Ray Ebersol, the athletic director of Lorraine City Schools. And starting Wednesday, September 19th, Tony Shoulders, the football coach of Lorraine Southview, will be the featured guest. Sports Scene is shown daily at 2 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. on WLCS TV 20, Lorraine City Schools Television in Lorraine, Adelphia Cable Channel 20. Sean Nixon, the injured player. Tony Shoulders not a happy camper. There's the try for the extra point. And this time the PAT was put up by Amit Kavor, a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. It is good, and with 1:06 remaining in the third quarter, it's the Howland Tigers 21, the Southview Saints 9. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
America's Air Force has a plane so advanced, it dominates everything in the air. Yet on radar, it's as small as a bird. The meanest, baddest bird on the planet. Join the team that keeps us flying. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
Kickoff time once again for the Howland Tigers. Once again, John Earhart puts the ball in the air. Fumbled momentarily by the Saints, and still it's loose, and the Tigers recover.
Oh,
Things are falling apart for the Southview Saints.
The kicking game, Ron. If it isn't the punt, it isn't punt return. Kickoff returns.
Tigers 1st and 10, the ball on the Southview Saints 20-yard line. Brian Spence, the fullback, gets the ball just across the 20-yard line, a gain of maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Tackle made by Stanley Robinson.
But this has just been a huge turn here in this last 35 seconds, basically, Ron. 2 plays, the kickoff return and then the fumbled kickoff. And Southview's back really scraping now. They're going to have to put in a tremendous defensive stand here. Quarter's about to run out.
This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Clark on the keeper. Clark gets the ball close to the 15-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down, a gain of 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Ronnie Soto making the tackle. And that should be the end of the 3rd quarter of play with the score. The Howland Tigers 21, the Southview Saints 9. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
I grew up with my mother. I got along with her good. We communicated. When I started using pot, it just went downhill. There were times when I'd hear her crying in the next room, and it would affect me, but then I'd just brush it off, and I ended up turning my back on my family.
4th and final quarter ready to get underway. Clark calling the signals. 21-9 our score. Howland Tigers in the lead. And it's Clark on the keep, and he's looking somehow, some way, and he's in trouble, and he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. Loss of 5 yards on the play. In on the tackle for the Southview Saints, Armando Rivera. Ball spotted just inside the 20. Well, making a loss of 4 yards. It's 4th down and 9 now.
Might be another one, Ron, where they
Here goes a field goal attempt as John Earhart is in the ball game. They'll spot the ball on the 26-yard line. A 36-yard field goal attempt. No wind here in George Daniel Stadium.
Well, the one he kicked in the first when he tried 52 yards would have made it from here.
And a flag, delay of game. That'll bring it back another 5 yards.
It must be. According to the Barry Buck theory of officiating.
Well, it was the official right back there.
That's right.
Underneath the crossbars.
Yes. Yeah, they tack 5 onto that, Ron.
So now we're looking at a 41?
Yeah, 41, 42 yards. They certainly don't make it easy on this young man.
Good snap, ball is down, and a short
it's
kick.
Gonna be short.
Lands in the end zone, and the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line as once again the defense rose to the occasion with 11:03 remaining in the ball game.
I don't think we can say enough about, as of right now, we're going in the 4th quarter, and I don't know how this is going to end. That defense has been on the field a long time, but that front for Southview has just played a tremendous game against these odds that they're against, Ron. They've been the linemen have tried to take up linemen so that the linebackers and backs can make tackles. They basically have held them to 2 touchdowns, and that's an awfully good job against this team.
Stanley Robinson in motion. Majoris back to pass, coming over to the near side, lets it go, and it's beyond the reach of Robinson. On the incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
Trying to hit Stanley coming out of the backfield there for that long motion coming over here, following the wide receiver down the field.
By the way, we failed to mention that the uniforms you are seeing on the Southview Saints are brand new uniforms, just arrived this week. This is the first game that they are wearing these uniforms. Again, Robinson in motion. The pass intended for Marquel Miller is broken up. In on the play for the Tigers, James Justice. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Went back to Miller on that slant, the one they had gotten the key first down in earlier, Ron.
Wondering if something might have happened to Terrence Beard, because he has not been in the ball game.
He ran the ball 20 times or so last week at Warrensville.
Or is he in there now? I do believe he's in the ball game now. Yes, he is. The pitch goes to Robinson. Beard leading on the block, but couldn't quite get a man out of the way as Robinson was brought down on the 20, and he is in a world of hurt.
Yes.
Loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 4th down and a punting situation for the Southview Saints.
The tackler on that play, Ron, was the big Danish boy, number 50. Now, that's the young man we've been talking about that's going to Ohio State. And to give you an idea of the kind of athlete that is, he started out at the defensive right end, which was on the opposite side of the field. He came all the way across here, and as Robinson cut the ball up, he put a tackle on him that was definitely felt, as you can tell, and shows that kind of agility and movement and size they're looking for in Big Ten athletes, whether they're in Columbus or somewhere else. And it looks like Coach Truss will be pretty happy that one picked Ohio State.
And he is following in his father's footsteps, because his father played for Ohio State University. And as we indicated earlier in the ball game, if you're just joining us, Dadish bench presses 450 pounds. Which obviously doesn't make him a weakling by any stretch of the imagination. He is 6'6", and he does go 300 pounds. And in addition to having great physical stature, he has great intelligence as well. He has a 3.8 GPA, so he will succeed in college. Speaking of Ohio State University, you once upon a time played for Coach Woody Hayes.
Oh, yes. In fact is, this Warren offense looks very familiar. Fact is, I think I might have an old playbook sitting in the basement somewhere, Ron. It's probably got most of this in it. In the off tackle right, followed by off tackle
couldn't
left.
handle the snap from center, tries to get it away, manages to do so, but it's going to give the Tigers excellent field possession as the ball is downed on the Southview 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on Southview's 34.
But can we say how good a play that was by the young man? Instead of taking a hit back there on the 5-yard line, he somehow avoided the first man and then kicked it somewhere so that at least got out here to about the 34-yard line. If he wouldn't have been able to make that play, they'd have been playing offense on the 5-yard line going in, Ron. That was a tremendous play by the young Fosse boy.
Maurice Smith in at fullback once again.
Pass.
And a pass play. The intended receiver for the Tigers, Anthony Petrosky, the wingback, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the Southview 34-yard line.
I don't know if we've mentioned, Ron, this Warren team right now in the latest rankings is ranked number 12 in the state in Division II. To give our local people an idea, Avon Lake is ranked number 11. So this would be, in the ratings at least, 2 teams that would be equivalent in the with Warren and Avon Lake.
The give is to the fullback, Maurice Smith, the 210-pound junior, gets the ball to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Josh Henderson making the tackle. Ten minutes remaining in the ball game. Clark hands it off to Smith. Smith right up the middle to the 15-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they're going to spot it on the 16. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. John Brown making the tackle.
Yeah. John's also a sophomore. This team is just loaded with sophomores and juniors that are doing a great bulk of the playing, Ron.
Well, the defensive starting 4 are juniors and sophomores. 2 juniors, 2 sophomores. The linebackers, 2 underclassmen. The defensive backs, all underclassmen. The pitch goes to Mark Reck. Reck driven out of bounds, well, along the sideline. He didn't get out of bounds as the clock continues to run.
Sean Nixon over there, I believe. Yeah, that's Sean, another junior.
Gain of 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. The ball is on the 11-yard line. And then you look at Southview's offensive starting line, only 2 seniors, Ryan Humphreys and Paris Stevens. All the others are juniors and sophomores.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about basically a total of 5 or 6 seniors total who are playing much at all.
Good play defensively by the Southview Saints as they stop Maurice Smith.
George Berlingeri, one of them in there, 34. Now, that's one of the seniors.
Just 1 yard to go for that 1st down, and Smith could not make it, so it's going to be 4th and just inches. And the Southview offensive backfield, plus the quarterback, all underclassmen with the exception of Terrence Beard.
Right, and we should Jeff Hughes, who's out of the game as a junior. He's out, you know. And
this time, Maurice Smith bowls his way across the 10-yard line, inside the 10, where it's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers. They'll spot the ball on the 7-yard line. A good point, Harv. We mentioned earlier, and again, in case you're just joining us, Jeff Hughes injured an ankle last week against Warrensville Heights, did not practice all week, did not dress for tonight's game. Also, the big offensive and defensive lineman, Tony Rodriguez, injured a shoulder, and he is going to be having an MRI sometime next week, so no telling how long he's going to be out. Into the end zone, the attempted pass from the quarterback Clark to Greg Parrish. Short, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Southview got a little break there. They overplayed the run that time, and he came out here pretty clean on that little bootleg and just underthrew the ball. That's that one again, Ron, coming to the left. The quarterback, it's a hard ball to throw, and he didn't quite get his shoulders turned, and as a result, it was a short pass.
Clark takes the snap, hands it off to the big fullback, Maurice Smith. Smith inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. The ball spotted just inside the 5. Here again, Harv, the Southview Saints defense just can't say enough. Forget the score on the scoreboard. The defense has really been hanging in there
tough.
tough.
The fact, and one of those, of course, is that touchdown return, Ron. The defense has only yielded 2 of these scores.
Take that away, and you've got 14-9. The give is to
going wide.
Reck, and he's going to be hit for a loss.
Sean Nixon, what a play. Boy, Sean came up, he broke out the outside, and Sean just came up and took him on right now. Threw him for a 2-yard loss.
Could not get it done. It'll be 4th and goal. They're going to put the ball on the 5-yard line. And this will be the ultimate test here for the defense if they can stop them.
You got the big fullback, you have the option play, the bootleg. There are just an awful lot of things they have to be aware of here. First thing, everybody's got to hold their position.
Clark looking to pass. In and out of the hands. The intended receiver for the Tigers, Anthony Petrosky. There was another Tiger in the end zone that might have gotten a hold of it, but it's incomplete. The Southview Saints defense holds. A remarkable job by them. Can't say enough about the defense. Just a beautiful job.
Yeah.
But they are deep in their own territory now. 1st and 10, the ball just inside their own 5-yard line.
Very difficult, and I have to score to get back in, but at the same time, you're doing things back here this deep in your own territory can cause a problem.
Robinson in motion. Terrence Beard in the backfield. The pass to Marquell Miller. Miller gets across the 10-yard line before being thrown out of bounds. Making the stop for the Tigers on that play, James Justice. Gain of 7 yards, 2nd down and 3.
Basically, Ron, Markell's turned that young man just about any way he wants to. He's caught balls going deep on him. He's caught outs on him. He's caught slants on him. And that's only a sophomore. I think you can see what's the possibility here if he'll just continue to improve and grow, because he does an awful lot of things well.
Majoris on the pass, coming over to the near side. Sean Nixon, the intended receiver. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Basically the same general pattern, except Sean took it quite a bit deeper than Markell did on the other side.
Five minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the ball game. Adam Figueroa split wide to the left. Robinson in motion. Majoris passing in the flats to Robinson, trying to find some running room, gets up to about the 15-yard line. It's all going to depend on where they spot the ball. I don't think he made it.
Nah, I think that's a left foot. As John Madden would say, it's a right foot, left foot, and we needed the right, and I think we got the left, Ron.
They're going to spot it just inside the 15. They needed to get to the 15. Well, they just may bring the chains over and check it out.
Yeah.
And our cameraman, producer, and director is saying from his vantage point, and he's got the telescopic lens on that camera, we made it by an inch or short. It's it's going to be either make it by an inch or miss by an inch.
We needed that right foot real bad, right?
He's got a 50-50 chance of being right, huh? All right, they're bringing the chains across.
That's that half full glass.
Looks like a first down to me, and it is.
Oh,
1st and 10 for the Southview Saints.
Joe never missed one yet. Boy, that was close. Well, it keeps the ball, and now if we get another first down or two and keep things moving, maybe we can pop something against this defense, especially in the secondary. I think, Ron, we're pretty sure we have to go in the air now. Got Markell out here on the right.
That official is waving and waving and waving like, come on, pay attention, let's get this clock started.
Well, finally.
Of course, Southview fans would like to see a little more time staying on the clock. And the pass intended for Stanley Robinson had it, but he couldn't hang on as he was covered closely and tightly by the defensive back for the Tigers, James Justice. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
I think Justice plays a lot better over there when Markell Miller isn't on his side, Ron. He made a nice play that time. He made a real nice play.
And the officials are calling a timeout this time. Now they picked up whatever foreign object happened to be on the field.
Yeah.
Second and 10 from the 15. The give is to Terrence Beard, and he is going absolutely nowhere. In fact, the loss on the play of a yard or two, it'll be 3rd down and 12.
Big boy made the play on that one again. Dockish over there. That's difficult thing. He's in a full-out pass rush, and he's just coming right into that counter play that time. He discarded people, made the play.
Robinson again in motion. The pass coming to the near side and just too high. Stanley Robinson leaping for it, couldn't even grab a hold. On the incomplete pass, it's going to be a punting situation for the Southview Saints, 4th and 11. The ball on their own 14-yard line. Josh Fossey standing back on his 3-yard line. Good snap from center, and it's blocked. And recovered by the Tigers on the 5-yard line. Making the block for the Tigers, Mark Fowler, a 5'11", 190-pound junior.
And another result of the kicking game, Ron. That's 3 huge plays on it now, and 4 counting the short punt.
Mark Majoris is being attended to on the sideline. Looks like he's got a bad cramp on one of his legs. Clark hands off. The ball carrier, the fullback, Brian Spence, on the 1st and goal. Gain of 2 yards on the play. Ronnie Soto making the tackle. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Well, seems like we've been sitting down here about the whole 4th quarter, Ron.
Give is to the other fullback this time, Maurice Smith. Smith bowls to the goal line. We'll see. They're going to spot it on the 1-yard line.
George Berlingeri again there, Ron. And
Greg Parrish for the Tigers standing there at the goal line with his hands up in the air saying touchdown, but the officials are saying otherwise. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
And they made the hit actually on about the 2 or 3, and then he just pulled his way on down. Yeah, we've been here before.
Petrosky lined up directly behind the quarterback. Maurice Smith behind him, and the give is to Smith. Smith running, and he can't find the end zone. He's going to be short.
Is that Berlingeri again that got through in the gap? He shot the gap in there. And 64.
No gain on the play. It's 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Now this may be that sneak again, Ron, the one they ran down here in the last quarter when I lost my donut to you.
So what are you calling this time? I'll give you a chance to break even.
I'll probably end up calling the quarterback sneak and losing my donut again. Then I'll owe you 2.
Double or nothing. Here we go. You're saying quarterback, and I'm saying it's going to be Maurice Smith. And it's the quarterback. I gave you a chance. All right. Rick Clark bowling into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown, this one from the 1-yard line.
He got both of those. It's basically behind that big center and those 2 guards. They're just getting shoulder to shoulder and making a little wedge there. And possibly even one of those, Ron, where he didn't even give a starting count. He just kind of goose the center a little bit and get the ball, and away you go, and there's no count at all there.
Well, he's got a 6-foot center that goes 265 pounds, Sean Unger, a senior.
Yeah, they've probably been at this a while, these 2 young men.
And Clark himself being a senior. High snap brought down, And it's John Earhart with the point after, and it is wide to the right. So, with 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the ball game, it's the Howland Tigers 27, the Southview Saints 9. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
They won't leave you for someone younger. They won't notice you've gained weight. They won't fire you. They won't talk about you behind your back. All they'll ever do is love you. Find the love of your life. Visit Petfinder at aspca.org.
John Earhart kicking off from his 40-yard line. Stanley Robinson, deep receiver, back on his 5, along with Terrence Beard. The ball is taken on the 19-yard line, picked up by the Southview Saints, Armando Rivera. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. The ball on their own 27-yard line. 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the ball game. Robinson in motion coming to the near side. Majoris trying to pass. He is nailed in his backfield, and there will be a substantial loss on that play, a loss of about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 16.
Yeah, they had tremendous rush right up the middle that time. I think that last score pretty much took the starch out of a lot of the Southview effort here, but it's been a tremendous effort tonight against a team that's highly ranked in the state and unbeaten, and playing without 2 of your better players. I think the Southview team has given a tremendous effort.
Both these teams have their starters still in the ball game. Terrence Beard trying to find some running room on the near side to the 20, out of bounds on the 21-yard line. There'll be no gain on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 16. Tackle made by Tony Davis.
Yeah, everybody, these are the starters through and through in here. See now, Rec number 24 still in here at safety.
Give is to Terrence Beard. Beard finds a little running room, gets the ball out to the 30-yard line. Gain of 8 yards on the play.
He's going to kick it. Here comes Fosse into the game.
4th down and 8. And as you indicated, Josh Fosse in the ball game, standing on his 19-yard line. Mark Reck, deep receiver. And an excellent punt by Fosse. Lands on the 27-yard line, takes a Tiger bounce, and is dead on the 30. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 30-yard line with 43 seconds remaining in the ball game. Want to take the opportunity to thank our fine sponsors, First Federal Savings and Loan of Lorraine, Impressions at Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. So if you're looking for the right jacket, sweatshirt, t-shirt with all kind of wonderful designs, check out Impressions. And we welcome the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorraine, bringing you each and every halftime show here at George Daniels Stadium. And if any other commercial people out there would like to jump on the bandwagon and sponsor some of these high school football games, get in touch with our director, Joe Bach, at 282-8400, 282-8400. Rates are reasonable. All the money goes to buy equipment for these telecasts. The give is to a replacement in the backfield for the Tigers, Mark Fowler, a 190-pound junior.
We're seeing now Warren has put in its second unit on offense, and Coach Shoulders making several substitutions also. This has just been an excellent high school football game, Ron.
Chris Settlemeyer, the quarterback, now in for the Tigers. Gain of a half a yard, second down and a short 10. Tigers get the ball across the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Brendan Kopus. And that's the end of the ball game. Our final score here at George Daniel Stadium, the Warren Howland Tigers 27, the Southview Saints 9. Harvey and I will be back to wrap it up right after this timeout.
Nearly 750,000 remarkable individuals serving their country. And they all believe they have the best job in the world. Join us. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
From George Daniel Stadium, the Southview Saints coming into tonight's ball game with a 2-1 record, now are 2-2. Next week, Friday, the Saints will travel to Elyria to take on the Pioneers at Ely Stadium. We'll be back here next week, Friday. Harvey Herman, myself, along with our producer-director Joe Bach for the Admiral King Maple Heights game. But let's talk right now about this particular ball game. Harv, the final score 27-9, but as you've indicated so often, and I agree totally, it was a whale of a ball game.
It certainly was, Ron, and Southview just had some lapses in the kicking game that really hurt them there when the game got close. When they got to the score 14-9, the kickoff return that went for a touchdown to make it 21, then fumbling the ensuing kickoff right after that. They didn't even get a chance with the ball, kept the thing in their own end of the field deep the rest of the game. But I don't think we can say enough for the Southview defense. They played very well. They played very spirited game against a tremendously large, talented Warren Howland team, basically giving up 3 touchdowns and 1 coming on the long kickoff. And defense bent. It gave up some yardage, but they made an awful lot of good plays and held staunch down near the end line.
Looking at the scoring for the game tonight, the first touchdown was a 66-yard run by Tiger tailback Mark Reck. The second touchdown was a 3-yard plunge by quarterback Rick Clark. The third touchdown was a 85-yard kickoff return by the tailback Mark Reck. And the fourth touchdown for the Tigers came on a 1-yard plunge by the quarterback Rick Clark. 3 points after, put up by John Earhart, missing on the last one for the Tigers' 27 points. For the Southview Saints, the lone touchdown was a 20-yard pass play from quarterback Mark Majoris to Marquell Miller, his split end, and a 42-yard field goal by kicker Josh Fossey, accounting for Southview's 9 points. After the TD, they tried for the 2 extra points and just missed as the ball rolled off the fingertips of Marquell Miller in the end zone. And I agree again, Harv, a great ball game, and the fact that Coach Tony Shoulders is loaded with underclassmen, juniors and sophomores, and they're hoping for that winning season this year. They still have 6 more games to go. As we indicated, next week, Friday, they travel to Elyria. Hopefully, tailback Jeff Hughes will be back in uniform and able to carry the pigskin for the Saints. Meanwhile, as we indicated, as we wrap it up, we'll be back again next week Friday here at George Daniel Stadium. My partner Harvey Herman for that game as well. And we'll be bringing you Admiral King and Maple Heights. Southview played Maple Heights earlier in the season, defeating Maple Heights 7-6. So we'll see how the Admirals make out against that team, one of the Erie Division teams in the Lake Erie League. Until then, for my partner Harvey Herman, for my producer and director and cameraman Joe Bach, I'm Ron Bacalar. The final score once again from George Daniel Stadium: Howland Tigers 27, Southview Saints 9. Good night, everyone.
This has been a production of Lorraine City Schools TV 20 WLCS.